Welcome to Wyomissing Baseball on the Spartan Sports Network. Brought to you by the new Birdie's Inn at 5 Points in Exeter, where you can catch every Philadelphia Phillies game on the breezy, comfortable deck. And Mortgage America, big enough to provide the best rates, small enough to provide personal service, the mortgage company of record in Berks County. Now to the Spartan Sports Network broadcast booth, here's your announcer, Ryan Lineweaver.
Welcome in, getting right to it. As a little fluctuation in the schedule here. If you're watching here at home, thanks for tuning in to the Antietam Mounts, technically hosting the Wyomissing Spartans here in Wyo. So, do be like that sometimes. As the first pitch of the ball game up high. That one ripped down the third base line. Throw across the diamond. In time. One away. That will bring up Berkeley Ziegler. Ziegler started the last contest that we were calling here. Up steps Ziegler. First one curls in there for strike one. It was Teddy White starting off the ball game there with the 5-3 putout. The 0-1. That one up high. Ziegler coming in batting .471, 7 ribbies and 34 ABs, 16 hits. Just one away from cracking 500 here in first 8 games. That one ripped down the third base line for a base hit. Fielder lost his hat. Going for 2 is Ziegler. Ziegler's slide ends up a little bit short, but gets in time. And it'll be a sliding double for Ziegler. So make that a hit in his next AB, and now he's batting .500 for the year. There we go. See? So Ziegler with that screamer down the line puts him on second base. And next up is Ryan Graham. Graham batting .484. 3 doubles, 8 RBI, third on the team. Behind Rowanzon and Noe. Fouls that one back to the screen. It's 0-1. Graham looks in from the left, bright pink bat and all. Thanks to the E1. So a runner back in scoring position. Brings up Sensenig. Looks at a curveball. That one off the catcher's mitt back to the screen. Graham holds it second. Now we got the scoreboard up. Two now. Thinking about taking third on that one. Graham will hold up again at second. 2-1 now to Cole. One, I think Spartans here pretty right quick. Still nobody away. That one outside. Or one away, sorry. White was retired 5-3. So just one away. One standing on second. Sensenig looking at a hitter's count, 3-1. Looks in, and the throw. Catches the edge. Wasn't what he was looking for. Count is full. Sensenig, like I said, a 214 hitter. Looks at one that passes through the opposing batter's box. So with first base open, Sensenig will gladly take it. So 2 on, 1 away. That'll bring up Westwood. 364 hitter through the first 8 games. Up high, ball 1. Westwood out of the 5-hole this afternoon. Low, outside, and catching the bottom part of the zone. It's 1-1. Keeps looking back at second. Eventually, he'll either throw it or, yeah, it's Grillo there. Grillo finally fires to the plate, bounces it up there. 2-0. Sorry, 2-1. That one flied out to center field, drifting back and eventually underneath is Romberger. Antietam's coaching staff thinking that Graham left early to get the third. Sensenig will stay on first, but it will advance Graham to third. So runners now on the corner. On the corners, I should say. Grillo looks in, now trying for third, and they'll throw it back to third. And that one is now out of play. So, with the snap throw to third, that will advance runners. Sensenig to second, or sorry, make it to third because he was already on his way. So he'll take second with a stolen base. He'll take third on an E2. Graham will score on the E2. What a time. Makes it 2-0 YO. Chase Bailey. Getting some playing time here today. Taking on Antietam. Bailey just 1 AB to his credit so far, so he'll get off the pine here. And into the batter's box. The 2-1 up high. 3-1 to Bailey now. Gonna say that one caught. 3-2. 2 away. Got Sensenig standing on third, just 90 feet from home. The full count offering. Bounces back to the screen. Catcher has to go and retrieve. But Bailey will be aboard with a 2-out walk. Still stuck on 1 official AB after all that. So now you got Caleb Bean stepping up. 1 AB, 1 run scored Just a single plate appearance so far. Catcher will go out and give a couple of signs as Grillo takes a step off the mound. Trying to go back to first again. Snap throw not in time. Still 2-0. Ziegler and Graham crossing home. Back to first again. Not in time. It's the umpire all the way out there at second base since they're working with a 2-umpire system today and most games. Nice big lead, and once again getting back well in time. 3 straight throws over now for Grillo. Him and Dickerson playing a little catch out there. This time they'll fake the throw to second and eat it. So runners both in scoring position, second and third now, as Bailey, the stolen base. Him and Sensenig both swiping bags here in first inning. 1-0, 2 away. Swing and a miss by Bean. Behind on that one. It's 1-1. Swung on and missed again by Bean. 1-2. The 1-2 to Bean. Cut on and missed. That one outside the zone. Went up and chased after it for strike 3. But Wyo doing some damage here in the top of the first as the visiting team here on their home field. You do the math. But Wyo, that'll be 2 runs on just 2 hits. 2 errors. And 2 left on base for the Spartans when we return. Bottom half of the first, Spartans up 2-0 when we return.
The new Birdie's Inn is Exeter's family spot with great food and beverages and activities for all ages. There's a full selection of beverages to go with your meal or while you watch a game on one of the 35 TVs. For the kids, there's a family game area, as well as darts and a pool table. You can eat in the indoor dining room or out on the spacious heated deck. The new Birdie's Inn at 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter. Proud sponsors of Berks County High School athletics.
At Birdie's Inn we meet again.
Back for the bottom half of the first inning. Spartans on top 2-0. As their second and third hitters of the day, Ziegler and Graham both touching home plate in a variety of fashions. Do we need to get Jerry a nice chair up there so that he doesn't accidentally tumble down the hill again? He looks pretty well positioned.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Westwood on the mound here for Wyo. Robinson up first here. Robinson behind the dish. Leading off. Cut on and miss. Strike 1. Little first pitch swinging action there. Romberger's on deck. As that one hits him, he'll go and take first. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner stepping in here. It'll be Joseph Reyes stepping in. Romberger up next, batting from the left-hand side. First one down and in. Dusts up some chalk onto his cleats. The 1-0. Go back to first. Nice attempt there. Just trying to hold on that runner. Gonna use the pinch runner. May as well keep him close. The 1-0. Fouled off. 1-1. Kleslich in the on-deck circle. That one splayed out to short and not going to get it. It was a heck of an effort just to keep it in the infield. It was a heck of a diving stop that time. It's man-oh-man. Emke out there at short. Probably would have been the same result regardless. I'm not sure if the runner would have been taking third even if it had gotten into the outfield, but that most certainly makes sure that that is not going to be the case. Kleslich checking in. And apologies if I happen to say his name wrong here. I am behind the dish, so there's a chance he may just turn around and snap at me. 1-0. Westwood up high off the catcher's mitt. The throw down to third is in time. Robinson is retired on the base paths. 2-5 on the putout. Runner on second now. That one outside. Cut on and missed on the 3-0. It's at 3-1. Still, I would imagine a green light here out of your three-hole hitter with a runner on second. Not on that one. Well outside and with first base open. Kleslich will take the open base. We'll say for Westwood, this is his first appearance on the mound here this year as a sophomore. That one out to first. He'll step on first and just take the free out. That's okay. You weren't getting the lead runner. Maybe you get the trailing runner at second, but he just takes the smart out, gets 2 outs on the board. 3U will advance all the runners into scoring position. So Romberger on third, Kleslich on second. That one catches the edge. It'll be Freese here as the DH today. Oh, 2 count. Bends it. Got him. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and now 3 away here in the bottom half of the first inning. For Antietam, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left stranded on base. After 1, Spartans lead 2-0, top of the second when we return here on the Spartan Sports Network.
Mortgage America is Berks County's premier local mortgage lender. Why choose Mortgage America? They're a fully licensed regional mortgage banker, not just a broker. They service their own loans and offer a full menu of mortgage programs. Their turnaround times and service are unmatched in the industry, big enough to provide the best rates, yet small enough to provide personal service. Local loans for local homes. Contact Chris 9 at Mortgage America today at 610-376-1755.
Back for the top half of the second inning. Spartans up 2-0. One of the new generations of MKs floating through the Berks County region. Been a while. I went to college with Dave. He was a senior when I was a freshman. Dave. Fantastic tennis player, as well as most of the MKs, honestly. His brother Chris used to coach Alvernia and played professionally for a hot minute. This one, playing baseball. That one overthrown. Two balls, no strikes. MK looks in. That one flied out to right center, drifting back. And drifting in was Santiago, unable to make the catch. The ball drops, he's going for two, and Emke is out getting greedy at second. He saw an opportunity with three white jerseys all surrounding the baseball, and none of them looked anxious to pick it up after the dropped single. So it will be a single for Emke, and then he will be extinguished on the base paths. I couldn't see exactly who ended up throwing it, but it looks like it might have been 4-6 on the putout. And there's one away. That one once again overthrown. One on the count. Caleb Goodhead. Looks at one spin in there. It's 1-2. Caleb, a junior. Fouls that one back. Right behind Jerry. That ball might roll down and hit him. Need to get him a glove.
We can call that one a business investment.
Only if it's deductible. Two balls, two strikes. One away here. That one inside. Bounces off the dirt and past the catcher. Full count. Goodhead. His first ABs of the year. Outside of the 11 he's already had. Goodhead hitting 400 through 4 games. Goes up to get that one, chops it to second. Throw in time. Thought Dickerson might have come off the bag there, but all good. 4-3 on the put out, and that'll bring up Teddy White. White grounded out on the second pitch he saw, 5-3. Grillo shakes off Robinson, steps in and deals. One of the off speed to start. Couldn't quite get over the top of that one. White fouls that one back. Jerry, still okay.
We might have to put a third camera just on Jerry to see if he gets hit by a ball.
Might have just put a tent over top of him.
Yeah, we could.
Or an umbrella.
I mean, last time he brought a canopy, he tripped, so.
That one, up, over. It's going to miss me, but not by much.
Whew. I thought that was spinning towards us. I was like, oh, Lord.
Nah. I thought about it. I probably could have had it if I had literally dumped the table aside and threw my chair behind me and ran after it.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would have been effort right there.
Not that much effort for a 4:15 game. That one beaten to third, foul. Goes just wide of the bag.
I mean, flipping the table, flipping the chair, making a diving catch. That would be a Ryan kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it happening.
Not in the white shirt, though. not in the white shirt. That would just be a horrible mistake that I'd never be able to unlive. Wear my usual Roosevelt's gear, but that one back up and over. This one's going to get closer to Jerry.
That one had a lot of backspin on it.
Yeah, a little English. Still 1-2. One, two. Another one fouled off, and that one might actually hit Jerry. Ah, it hits the tree instead. Look at that. I don't know if you watched the, gosh, what game was that? I think it was an Atlanta game, but like 3 straight foul balls, almost 4 straight foul balls, all landing in the same area, just haunting this poor usher. Like she got hit on the, that one bounced back to the screen. She got hit on like her ankle, and they were checking her out. And meanwhile, the at-bat's still going, and they just keep fouling off to the same spot. Like, I think it was Trey Turner that just kept fouling it off to the same spot against Atlanta. And this lady's just like, what do I need to do? Like,
Might have something against her.
The 2-2. Foul tip back into the glove for strike 3. Well, less exciting than the first inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Spartans. But in doing so, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on base. To the bottom of the second we go. Spartans on top, 2-0.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Back here for the bottom of the second inning. Bring up, once again, the Mounts to the dish. Playing a home game away. So if you're confused as to why Wyo is batting first here on their home turf, that's exactly why. First one in there. Strike one. Westwood chucks it outside. Looks in. 1-1. Cut on and missed. 1-2. Perez had a pretty nice throw from third all the way across the diamond to open up the contest, and that time the slider misses the bat. Second strikeout of the day here for Westwood. There's one away. That'll bring up Dickerson. Dickerson manning first base today for the Mounts. Looks at strike one. That one popped up sky high, drifting foul into third base territory. Looking up and making the tough catch there is Sensenig, and there's two away. Had to fight the sun on that one. PF5, not to be confused with PF Chang's. Swing and a miss. On the first one. This is an exceptional day for baseball, by the way. I wore long sleeves and had to strip down into the Roosevelt shirt. Check swing, not going to matter anyway. It's 0-2. Santiago, choke up on the bat here, 0-2. That one inside. Dives out of the way of it, 1-2. That one popped up. Well out of play. Stays 1-2 to Santiago. Down and outside. Evens the count. Antietam coming in. Struggle bus would probably be the nice way of putting it. Check swing. Called strike three anyway. They are going to say that he swung and missed at it. Check swing didn't hold up. Didn't matter much anyway. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 2 strikeouts that inning for Westwood. And we go to the top of the third. Spartans on top, 2-0.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Back here for the top half of the third inning. So I was about to get into kind of rehashing Antietam's path here. It's not been a fun one for the Mounts, as they have, in all of their losses, have gotten 10-run ruled. It's been that kind of year so far. Lost back on the 11th at Hamburg, 16-3. Kutztown 10-0. Berks Catholic 15-0. Ole Valley 15-0. William Penn was really the only loss that they hadn't gotten 10-run ruled, and that was all the way back on March the 29th. They lost 14-5. They also lost to Schuylkill Valley 16-3 and Christian School of York 15-0. They put up 3 in the top of the third, but Hamburg had put up 14 runs in the second. Their last time out. No bueno. Ziegler will step in, doubling his first time up. That one laced into left field for an easy base hit. And it gets past the left fielder. Kleslich can't get it. Ziegler will get into second. It's all the way back there. He's going for third. And he will coast in to third. Well, that is, by my accounts, and you can disagree with me if you want on the broadcast. I don't care much. I can't see your comments until later. I have that as a single and a 2-base error by the left fielder because, well, should have had that one. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, it'll be an E7. That will advance Ziegler to second and third. So that'll bring up Graham. These are the types of things that can snowball an inning. Be real bad as Grillo chucks that one outside. Graham singled Ziegler home last time. Good enough for the RBI, and this one skied out to right center field. Santiago Romberger looking for it. Romberger, I believe, makes the diving catch. Ziegler will scamper on home, and it's 3-0 YO. So a very interesting out number 1. It's a heck of an effort there by Romberger. I thought that thing was going to drop in between the two fielders. Ton of space out there, and he just came flashing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So in comes Sensenig. Sensenig walked, stole a base, and reached third on an error. The 1-0. That one lined into the Parents on the third base line. It was a screamer.
That was a line drive straight to the Parents.
Right into the crowd of parents over there in their lawn chairs.
I don't think anyone moved.
No, normally you would see people diving out of the way, but
nope, they just moved.
It was too much of a hot shot.
Yep.
Grillo looks in and deals. That one up and nearly over the head of Sensenig. It's a 3-ball count. Sensenig walked on 6 pitches his first AB. Bounces that one up there, and three and 1 now to Sensenig. That one up high, ball 4. 2 ABs, 2 walks for Sensenig. Still yet with an official plate appearance here this afternoon. I'll bring in the starting pitcher. I'll bring in Xander Westwood. Westwood being his pitcher and essentially his own DH here this afternoon. Pickoff attempt back to first, not in time. First pitch. Didn't look like Westwood was waving at that one regardless. Similar to that one Bryce Harper AB where he just walked up there, bat on his shoulders, didn't do anything.
Not much, yeah.
You're like, well, I guess he didn't feel like swinging the bat this time.
Well, if you feel relaxed in the box, you just don't let the bat move.
Yeah, well, you do have to swing it. That one down in the dirt, throw to second will bounce in there, and most certainly not in time. Now, Sensenig, his second stolen base. Gave Sensenig credit for the first one because he landed on third then by Robinson Throwing it down the third base line, trying to snap the runner back. Didn't work. Westwood now looking down the barrel of a 1-2 count. Up high, 2-2. Westwood flew out to center his first time. Spin off the mound. Thinking about going back to second. No defenders there. Would have thrown that one in the center field if he wanted to.
Yeah.
That one way outside, back to the screen. They're going to throw it to third. That one into left field. And in comes Sensenig. So Sensenig comes all the way across on the wild pitch. So it'll be Sensenig reaching third on a wild pitch and then reaching home on an E2. And it's 4-0 Spartans. 3-2 now to Westwood. Base is empty. After Sensenig comes all the way around with one out. That one up high, ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up now by Grillo. That'll bring up Bailey. Speaking of walks, Bailey walked his first time up. Also stole second.
There you go.
Another 6-pitch walk. Grillo now out of the stretch will fire back to first. Spartans active on the base paths here this afternoon. And again, back to first. Third time. Not the charm here, as Westwood just deciding to stay on the ground so he didn't accidentally leave the bag here. The ball placed on him. And make it 4 attempts over here to first. You can see why they put a limit on this in Major League Baseball. It's terribly exciting. And this time, it's a balk, as Grillo responsible for moving Westwood over to second. First balk that we've seen here for the Spartans. That one will catch. Can't tell if that was a changeup or if he just took a little something off that fastball just to get it over. Cut on. Fouled back. 2 strikes now. Chase Bailey. Looks at a ball. It's a 1-2. Westwood still on second. No 1-2. That one fouled right in front of us. Thank God for metal screens.
Yeah, I would have taken that one to the face. I would have been out of straw for a little while.
Yeah, you definitely blinked, by the way.
Me?
That one outside, 2-2.
If anything, I would have tried to hide behind the laptop.
Yeah, I mean, that laptop, it probably just would have shut, and then the ball still would have hit you in the face.
Probably, yeah. Knowing my luck.
That had some velocity on it.
Yeah, it did.
The 2-2. Eventually. Jeez. Bailey. Aging a couple years in the batter's box here, waiting for the 2-2. One away, runner on second. Catches the outside edge. Bailey goes down looking. And there's one away. Sorry, two away.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Two away. Sorry. I missed the one up there, my little circle. That'll bring up Caleb Bean. Beanie struck out swinging his first AB in. All the way back in the first. (1-0) to Bean. Catches the black, 1-1. Bean going sans batting gloves, a la Moises Alou. Won't tell you what Moises used to do to keep his hands good to go. As Dickerson ranges underneath in foul territory. PF3 on the putout, and there are 3 away here for the Spartans, but not before they plate 2 more in the inning. It ends up being 2 runs on just 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left stranded on second. Going to the bottom of the third, 4-0 Spartans.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Back here for the bottom of the third inning, we will have a pitching change for the Spartans. So they will end up moving Westwood into the field. He will take the place of Emke at short. Emke will move over to where Berkeley Ziegler was at second. And yeah, this is where things just start getting really confusing. So it's probably all you need to know for right now.
It just goes downhill from here.
Telling you.
Got to figure out who goes where. This person's over there.
Yeah, you know. I think that we landed on Zempleton here. I guess I'll listen closely to the public address announcer. It is odd. There's no roster here for Antietam on Fax Preps. That's usually where you end up finding them. Has the schedule on there, just not the full roster. Looks like it'll still be Graham at first for the Spartans. It'll be Cerulli at third now. I'm not even bothering to adjust the defensive positioning. I'm just going to call it as it comes.
There you go.
More importantly, on the mound, Derek Macrina.
There you go. I think that really matters right now.
That's really all that matters. Macrina coming in here, facing Zempleton. A 3-ball count to start. Macrina looking to find the handle. Got that one over. Strike one. Time taken here at the plate. Macrina, this will be his 4th appearance across varsity and JV. 3rd if you're looking at just varsity. Swung on and missed. 3-2. Made one appearance last year, 2 innings, 1 hit, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. And looking at strike 3 called. That outside edge has been there all afternoon. And it amounts to out number 1.
Batter wasn't too happy with that one.
That pitch has been there all day long.
Yeah, it
so
has.
whether or not you like the placement of it or not, that has now been called a strike on. It's the exact same pitch.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You know what? If you're going to call it, be consistent with your call. And so far, it's been pretty consistent. That outside edge has been there, and there it is again. You know what? I mean, hey, if it's working and the opposing team is not going to touch it because they think that it's too far outside, well, then just keep pounding the outer edge. And Macrina with an 0-2 bends that one. Strike 3.
Wow.
Whew.
Jeez.
That had some spin rate on it.
Saw that dip? Holy crap.
Yeah, that. Strikeout number 2 for Macrina. That'll bring up Romberger. Romberger, a really nice catch out in center field. Fouls off the first one. Yeah, Macrina seemed to be teeing up that slider that time. 2 straight fastballs, and then here's a little something to change your eye level. That one catching the outside edge. 0-2. So after going to full count to Zemplin at the very beginning, he is just picking up strikes. 5 straight now for Macrina. 6 straight. Wow. A strike, 3 swinging, and a big giant grin coming off the mound. 3 up, 3 down, all via the strikeout from Derek Macrina, taking the bump here in the bottom half, the bottom half of the 3rd inning. So after 3 innings, Spartans leading by 4. More to come when we return on the Spartan Sports Network.
Perfect timing. To come
Look at
back
that.
and take a sip of your drink.
Take a big giant sip of my Coke Zero caffeine. They're not a sponsor, but I wish they were. So if anyone from Coca-Cola is listening, it's my drink of choice lately. Because I can drink it afternoon and not be up until 1 a.m.
There you go.
Which is fantastic.
That's one way to think about it.
And it's fine sometimes when you need to be up till 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever. You know, sometimes my youngest is awake that long.
Yeah.
So it's really useful being awake at that point in time. But when you're just looking to go to work the next day, not so much.
I mean, yeah.
Up comes Emke. Emke singled and was thrown out trying to stretch a pop fly into shallow right center into a double. I believe 4-6 on the putout. I went up high to Emke. That went down low. It was outside on that edge, but below the knees. Another one from Grillo. Up high. Ball 4. And Emke is aboard. Yet another walk here for Grillo. Excuse me while I add them up here. 2 in the first inning, none in the second, 2 in the third. And now his 5th walk here in the 4th. Foul tip back to the catcher. The throw not going to be in time as it's behind the runner, and Emke has stolen a bag. There's one thing that I learned last year watching high school baseball, especially Muhlenberg, is to not be afraid to run.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's maybe not necessarily second to third, but certainly if second base is open, that one inside the line. Home plate umpire has it inside, and look at that. In goes Goodhead. Just like that. 2 batters and 1 across as Emke comes all the way. Goodhead with a 2-bagger. That'll bring up Teddy White. Turn the lineup back over here. White 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to third and struck out swinging back in the second. That one way outside. Taking off for third. Throw is in. And are we still waiting for the call?
No, he called
We
safe.
are not. Okay.
Yeah, he called safe.
He was called safe.
Really
tell.
late, though. He really did it really relaxed.
Goodhead up on the wild pitch. Get another one of those. Up and in. 2-0. Make it 3-0 here to Teddy. Sorry, must have been a pitch ahead. Runner on third. Spartans now up 5-0. That one launched out to left field, and yeah, that's not going to be contained. Oh, it actually will be contained. Bounces off the base of the wall. I thought that was well out of here.
It looked good.
Yeah, Goodhead had a hold on third, just waiting for it.
Jeez.
Because Kleslik was just looking up for it and couldn't find it, and then finally off the base of the wall. But that one was absolutely launched out towards left field and off the base of the wall. It's a stand-up 2-bagger for Teddy White.
Shoo. Honestly, it sounded like crack off the back. It sounded like that would have been gone.
That looked like it had some pretty good launch angle, too.
Yeah.
It was up there, probably just a little too high. And it certainly seems like we are going to have just a straight-up swap here for Antietam.
We're going to try and see who goes where.
Looks like Grillo and Zampleton will probably change places.
We shall see indeed. Like we said earlier, that's the fun part about high school baseball.
Ain't it?
Trying to keep track of all of it.
Emke across, Goodhead across. 6-0 Spartans now as the Mounts try to stop the bleeding. With a runner on, Grillo's day is not over quite yet until that runner is dispatched of on second through one means or another.
Mm-hmm.
But will not be responsible for any outs here in the 4th regardless, so he will finish with at least 3 innings pitched. And only 3 innings pitched. "19 batters faced" goes Grillo. Gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. And at least 6 runs. Again, I believe this is just a straight-up swap here. Yep. Louise Ampleton coming from second base. They'll move Grillo over to second. We'll let him get some practice pitches in here. But yeah, at least 6 runs given up by Grillo, potentially 7, depending what happens here with the runner on second base. 5 walks for him. And as he closes out his account here this afternoon, also 3 strikeouts to his credit in 3 innings. There was a fair share of pitches, especially in the third. So he had a couple of 4-ball counts. Same as in the first, too. So he ended up walking Bailey and Sensenig, and then Sensenig and Westwood in the third. But here we go. A little quick substitution here, as it looks like Ziegler will check out. With the swapping of everyone around here, Cerulli will check in. Cerulli, the freshman, his first official AB. Foul back. 1-1. Cerulli, a freshman, has played in 3 games, scored a run. So he's been on the base paths. That one skied out to shallow right, and not able to make the catch that time was Dickerson. It goes in and out of his glove. He ends up on his back. E3 in my scorebook. It's so tough.
It is.
And yeah, I don't want to have to do it, but you know the fact remains that he ended up on first is just an end result of the first baseman going back, being underneath a routine pop-up, and not catching the pop-up, and being well positioned to do so. I guess we could just give him the single, and Cerulli will take second now, another stolen base.
They're really working the bases today.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just give him a single. It makes my math a lot easier. That was a tough play, obviously. Had some shifting winds, not as much as the first game that we had here, but that flag has moved significantly since we've started this game. It was going straight out, basically right to left. That one beaten foul down the first base line as Graham ahead of that one. Two and one. Grillo's book still not closed yet. It's White now on third. The 2-1. Up high. Ball 3. Good take. Has to be so tempting up there at the plate when you get one of those slow rollers just above the belt. Step off the mound that time. Already have 1 balk in this game. I don't think they're itching for 2 with runners in scoring position.
Definitely not.
3-1. Up and outside. And the bases are chock full of Spartans. As Graham is aboard. And that would normally bring up Sensenig. So that'll be Derek Macrina. Macrina 3 up, 3 down as that one bounces, and Wyo not going to move. That one almost hit the grass before it reached the catcher.
Yeah.
Macrina, a .222 hitter, 6 hits and 27 ABs. That one way up high. 2-0. Up and outside. 3-0 count. Doesn't need to swing away. Takes ball 4. Macrina works the walk, and that will finally close the book on Grillo out there at second base. Whew, took a little while to finally get there, but it finally happened, everyone. 7 runs across, all for Grillo, and I'm not even going to begin to try to figure out what is earned and what is not. That first inning was a bit of a hot mess. I would assume that there was only 1 earned run in the first. I'm pretty sure that Ziegler crossing the plate to start the third inning was unearned and then became earned during the inning, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because he shouldn't have been on third base, should have been on first, but eventually he would have made his way around based on what happened in the inning.
Yep.
No, actually, you know what? He probably wouldn't have. That's probably an unearned run because there were 2 walks in there and a pop foul to first to end the inning and a F8 and a strikeout looking. So, yeah, actually, probably both unearned.
Oh.
Westwood looking at a 2-2 count. Get my head back in the game here. That one. I'm not quite sure that anybody in the stands here knew what that pitch was meant to be, but it's a called strike 3 is what it is. And there's one away, finally. So Westwood down on strikes. That'll bring up Bailey. Base is still loaded. 1 away now. So, I mean, conceivably, Antietam could get out of here with a ground ball to short or second.
Yeah. Turned it up a play.
In a perfect world, yeah. In high school baseball, anything's possible. 2-0. That one. Catching the outside edge. Bailey cutting on and missing that one. Bailey 0-1 today. Struck out looking back in the third. Walked and stole a bag in the first. Down and outside. 3-1. Templeton with no room for error out here on the mound. 1 away. 7-0 Spartans. Swinging away, 3-1 that time was Bailey. Looking to bring everybody home with 1 swing of the bat.
Yeah. He's trying to get under that one.
Instead, 3-2.
Take it for a ride.
Big pressure situation for both. He's looking for the sign how to step off the rubber for a hot second. The full count offering. Overthrown. And it's ball 4. Another one crosses the plate. Runners advance. Cerulli singled and stole a bag. Ends up coming home, and that'll bring up Caleb Bean. Bean, first pitch swinging. 0-1. Bean struck out and popped out to first. His first 2 times up. That one, Rick Ankiel back to the screen. For those of you listening in, it's a reference to the wonderful Rick Ankiel, who eventually realized that he was not made to be a pitcher. Ended up playing in the outfield after throwing, I believe, 5 wild pitches in an inning in a playoff contest for the Cardinals.
Ooh.
If I'm remembering correctly. That's the Rick
5?
Ankiel reference.
5 wild pitches?
Yeah, he every now and again in sports there is something. As Beanie throws that one back over and almost clocks the umpire in the back of the head on his way down.
I know. I thought it got really close.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Bean is down on strikes for the 2nd time here this afternoon. That'll bring up Austin Letcher.
There we go.
Letcher will bat in the 8 hole here. Is that one up over? Nothing hitting Jerry up there now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he didn't set it up so that he could sit on one of the tree stumps up there.
I thought that he was going to do that for a second, but.
Well, can't ruin the khakis.
Nope.
That one upstairs. So I'm now into the 5th inning here in my scorebook. Ooh, that one. Oof. That one not only hit the umpire right in the mask, also hit the catcher.
Yeah, it did.
Double whammy that time, and both of them going to have to go walk it off. Every now and again, you catch one of those flush.
Yeah, you do.
It's not Downy soft, that's for damn sure.
It's ultra.
It's not Downy Ultra either. Whew. Charmin Ultra, I should say.
That's what it is.
Talking about, you know. Yeah, that's soft toilet paper. My family's more of a Viva paper towels type of family.
Where did this conversation go to? We're watching baseball.
It is an 8-0 ball game with 2 away here. Letcher. Looking at a 1-2 here. That one way outside. Spartans not going anywhere. Letcher swings and misses. That's strike number 3.
Make it out of the inning.
Well, there you go. They do make it out of the inning as 2 straight go down on strikes to polish things off. For the Spartans, though, 4 runs coming across. So 4 runs on, oh, Lord, now I have to do math. It's 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base for the Spartans. Top of the 5th inning. 4th inning, bottom of the 4th inning. Good Lord, I'm so confused by Antietam being the home team here in WYO.
Bottom of the 5th.
Bottom of the 4th.
Bottom of the 4th.
Bottom 4. When we return, it's 8-0 Spartans.
The new Birdie's Inn is Exeter's family spot with great food and beverages and activities for all ages. There's a full selection of beverages to go with your meal or while you watch a game on one of the 35 TVs. For the kids, there's a family game area, as well as darts and a pool table. You can eat in the indoor dining room or out on the spacious heated deck. The new Birdie's Inn at 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter. Proud sponsors of Berks County High School Athletics.
At 30s in we meet again.
There you go. It's your favorite. That's funny.
I still have no idea what that sound really is.
I don't either. But that's okay.
Macrina back out for his second inning of work. Struck out the side back in the third. Kleslich, Degler, and Freese coming up here for the Mounts.
You currently see the picture of Ryan and I's back here because Jerry has a close-up on us here.
Well, then you can actually see the shirt that I've been talking about, the beautiful white not t-shirt, button-down shirt from Roosevelt's.
Yeah.
It's got the it's got a full baseball scorebook on it. And just like that, Jerry's going back to the hook.
There we go. Back to the action.
Back to the action. Macrina stares in, takes a step. Down and outside. Kleslich. Walk the first time up. Just going to pronounce it differently every single time I say it.
It's a very interesting spelling.
Kleslich, Kleslich. Yeah. Going with that one.
However you want to pronounce it, go for it.
Going with that one. 2-0. Whiffed at for strike one. 2-1. Macrina took a little bit to get dialed in. May need the same here in the fourth. Needed 6 pitches against Embleton. For needing 6 pitches to strike out the next 2 batters that he faced, and that one's going to be a walk on 5 pitches. And there's a runner aboard.
Had to say it.
Yeah, well.
Cash their curse.
Well, here we go. Degler checking in. Runner will fake from first. Degler catches a strike. 0-1. Realized that for my scorebook, I really need one of these high polymer erasers, and it really does the job. Degler waves at that one. It's 0-2. Makes all the difference. The big, giant, fat eraser instead of the tiny one off the back of my pencil. Phew. That one. Just throwing the bat head out at it. Making contact and rattling the cage here. Hit off one part of the cage, then hit off a different part of the cage.
You saw that?
Got a little double doink out of it. Sorry if you're a Bears fan and that still haunts you. Not my fault they picked the wrong kicker.
Yep.
Laced right back up the middle. Oh, it's going to go off of Westwood into center field. He tried to make a diving stop. Didn't get very far into the grass. Now there's 2 runners aboard.
Jeez.
A single for Degler.
That one came a little bit weird off the mount, too, when it came to bouncing, so.
Freese at the dish. Outside. Even that pitch from Macrina seems to have almost a 2-seam action to it, that he's trying to get it back across the heart of the plate. That one up and in. I think the flag out there moved on that rip. It's 1-1. He was looking to get back almost half of the runs they needed
Yeah, he was.
in one swing that time. Down 8-0. There's the outside edge again. We'll see if he decides to spin a slider up here with 2 on. The 1-2. There it is.
Wow.
Strikeout number 4 for Macrina. And there is 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. I'll bring up Perez. Perez was manning the hot corner.
Mm-hmm.
Struck out his first time up, leading off the second. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Macrina not paying much regards to anybody on the base paths right now. He's all business up at the mound. He's not even looking back at that runner on second yet.
He's not taking a chance. Stop process says if I go quick, they won't
No.
go.
No, I'll at least glance back, but spins that one in. 0-2.
That ball just has so much movement on it.
Spin rate, as the kids love.
Such a good pitch.
Well, it's such an important concept. Like, the more that we learn about baseball and the more that we, I come from the, he tries to bounce one up there. I come from the Moneyball aspect of things. It's been my favorite book. It's one of my favorite movies. And it's less about the, people getting on base and not committing outs and things like that. It's more about just finding an inefficiency, as that one clangs off the screen here and back into play.
Jeez.
It was violent.
I think that was exactly off the pole.
But, back then it was, walks were considered, all right, well, if you're walking, you're getting on base, you're not making outs. The whole point of offense is to not make outs and score runs. So if you're not making outs, you're going to score runs. That was the A's whole thing. But it was more about the fact that they found an inefficiency within this game that other teams had not. As this one goes back to the screen, everyone will advance on a wild pitch. I think it's kind of lost. Everyone thinks, on base percentage, that's the only thing that matters. Well, it was more so that they just identified on base percentage. Nowadays, they're identifying things like spin rate because swung on and missed. Perez down for the second time on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Macrina, now up to 5 in 1 2/3. And I'll bring up Dickerson. Dickerson popped foul to third his last time up in the second. But now they look at spin rate because spin rate has been identified as something that you don't necessarily need the, liveliest arm as a pitcher, provided that you can get some really good spin on that ball. And what it does is it gives almost an optical illusion that the ball is moving faster than it actually is out of your arm. So, a high spin rate, not even just on off-speed stuff, but even on fastballs, it helps these guys that are throwing 92, 93, 94 to, make their pitches seem like they're zipping up there at 96, 97 and just getting a little bit of an extra edge.
Yeah.
So I know that these kids are all about spin rate and exit velo and
getting into the statistics of baseball.
This is even further into some of these stats than somebody like Bill James ever went. So 2-strike count here to Dickerson. Runners on second and third. Got him. Second straight inning that Macrina decides to finish off the side with 3 straight Ks. Swinging, and looking. Go the Mounts here in the 4th. For Antietam, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left stranded on base. We go to the top of the 5th inning where the Spartans leading 8-0.
Mortgage America is Berks County's premier local mortgage lender. Why choose Mortgage America? They're a fully licensed regional mortgage banker, not just a broker. They service their own loans and offer a full menu of mortgage programs. Their turnaround times and service are unmatched in the industry, big enough to provide the best rates, yet small enough to provide personal service. Local loans for local homes. Contact Chris 9 at Mortgage America today at 610-376-1755.
Yeah, there you go. Now you can see the shirt action here from Roosevelt's. Their baseball collection from last year is star-studded, especially if you're calling games like we are. So, like I said, it's just got, different scorebook material on here. Got one that's a whole bunch of baseball diamonds kind of interwoven, and then got your traditional peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
Got a shirt that has all that on it, too. So, yeah, you got to liven it up a little bit.
It shows you're the baseball fan. It's the life of baseball.
And it's just a baseball fan. It's
Exactly.
it's not attached to any team. It's not
Nope.
attached to any player. I mean, I have shirts like that too. I have a Bryce Harper one that also has Ben Franklin and
Oh, okay.
cheesesteaks and Liberty Bells and everything else on it.
Yeah.
So I ring the bell. That is like the shirt for playoffs. I wear it until they lose, and then I'll finally wash it.
What's
Be
the superstition?
buried in that shirt.
The superstition there. Gotta wear it until
Yeah.
you lose, and you gotta
Yeah.
wash it, get
Yeah.
all the bad luck off of it.
Not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Caleb Goodhead from behind home plate. Now in front of home plate. Or just to the side of it, I should say. 1 for 2 today. Doubled and scored back in the fourth. Grounded out 4-3 back in the second. Fouls it up. Back to Jerry, where he was standing. Could have went off the dome schnizzle that time.
Could have. The dome schnizzle.
Hamilton out for his second inning of work. Allowed 4 runs in his first inning. One of them inherited. That was Teddy White. That one inside. Good head. Head in the count, 2-1. Fouled away. Slices that one down the first baseline. 2-2.
It's a really nice day for baseball.
It's a gorgeous day for baseball.
Holy.
That one popped into the air towards the first base line, coming in and picking up an easy P3 put out that time is Dickerson, and there's one away.
Here we go.
So out goes Teddy White. And in will come Aaron Rounds-on. Instead of first pitch, strike. It's 0-1. Aaron, just a freshman, batting .300 through 4 games. That one make you think twice.
Oh, yeah. Inside a little high. Back you off the plate a little bit.
Just in general, make you think.
They
Game of
gonna hit me?
baseball, life. Cut on hand missed. 1-2. Yeah, for Aaron, sorry, let's make this clear. His second game here at the varsity level, 4 at the JV level where he's batting .300. Now that I take a closer look there, 2 of his 3 hits have been doubles.
There you go. He's a double machine.
Counts all square, 2-2. 8-0 Spartans once again here in the top of the 5th as Rounds-on will be gone on strikes, and there's 2 away. Should be Cerulli again. Current Cerulli, another freshman. Yeah, they're getting all the youngsters out here.
Mm-hmm.
So strike one.
Coach Wojciechowski doing his thing, bringing in the young guns, getting them the experience that they need at the plate.
I mean, you are playing a team that has struggled coming in.
Mm-hmm.
That's putting it very, very lightly. As a return to sender shot that time by Cerulli, and he is aboard with his second hit.
Jeez.
Graham will be replaced here. And again, this is why I give up on defensive positioning, at least for the time being. It'll be Chase Delp, the sophomore coming in. Runner is off and going to second. The throw is picked up by the second baseman as it skipped past the short. So Cerulli is in there with a second stolen base today.
Way to get into the scoring position here.
I'll try to hold him on to second there, and Delp will take time. Chase down at the JV level, 4 games, 6 out of 12 at the plate. Let's try that again. 4 out of 8 at home plate. This one ranging back into right field, making the catch that time is Santiago.
Jeez, what a catch.
Had to find that one up
He
in the
did.
clouds. And that'll do it for out number 3. No Spartans coming across home plate this time around. After scoring in the first, third, and fourth for the Spartans. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left stranded on second. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. 8-0 Spartans when we come back. Back here for yet another starting pitching change as Cole Sensenig will check in off the bench. He started this contest. Ended up being replaced after a couple of ABs by Macrina in the lineup here. And Sensenig will return the favor by replacing Macrina
Are you sure?
on the bump.
Wasn't number 9 on the bump to start?
You got Sensenig out there now. Sensenig was the 4-hole hitter. Ended up being replaced by Macrina, who
okay.
went out there to pitch, and now Sensenig is replacing Macrina
Gotcha.
on the mound. I like it much better when you can't put players back in. It's just easier for my brain growing up, learning one set of rules, and then they're like, oh no, there's a completely different set of rules for each level that you play. It's like, why?
Isn't that the point for every sport,
Why?
though? There's always different rules to implement.
I mean, I understand, like, my 7-year-old daughter is not going to be hitting off a tee forever in softball. I get it.
Well, that's a little different. Well, that's a little different.
Sensenig on the mound, his first appearance of his senior season. He's made 5 appearances at the varsity level. Pitched 2/3 of an inning both times up. So in 1.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, 4 runs, 5 walks, 3 Ks. 12 batters faced across 2 different years. Connor Stewart will come in to lead off. He'll take the place of, looks like Santiago. Looks a ball 1. The 1-0 from Sensenig, outside. Macrina finishes with 6 strikeouts in 2 innings. So this one beaten back to short. Throw across in time. And there's 1 away. Nice job that time by Westwood at short. 6-3 on the putout. Rumpleton? Have I just been... When you can't read the lineup card, makes your job really difficult, especially when there's no roster online.
It does. We were looking at it, and we were trying to get it figured out.
Well, so was I. Don't worry.
So
just make it up as you go.
Sometimes that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. 1-0. Fouled off. That one somehow skirted above the fence over the dugout.
Yeah.
Bit of a line drive. 1-1, and now I'm going to change this poor kid's name again to Rumpleton. That one lined down the third base line. It's going to roll all the way back and finally abut the fence. They're looking for 3. Hit the cutoff man. The throw into third, not in time, and it is a triple for Rumpleton. Got a good piece there to hit.
He did.
Lamar Robinson. Now with 1 away, Sensenig will need to figure out how to strand that runner on third. Antietam just looking to get on the board here, down 8-0. Check swing, no swing. 1-0. Sensenig looks over at third, now to home. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Up high. Antietam coming in here looking like the Phillies. This is that wonderful part of the year when you're a Philadelphia Phillies fan, when you're not sure if they're ever going to score another run the rest of the season.
Yep. Pretty much.
That one right through the 5.5 hole, and first run of the game here for the Mounts.
Get one across. There you go.
Get one across as Robinson, a RBI single, will put him aboard and score Rumpleton from third, and it's 8-1.
It's always a starting point.
Gotta
Any
start
game you play.
Got to start somewhere.
I mean, it depends on who you're rooting for, but still, regardless of teams.
This is true. Upstairs, across the letters. 1-0. That one upstairs. That's being generous. 2-0.
Very generous.
Upstairs, it was above the attic.
Yeah.
Thrown to the roof. 2-0. Look back to first. Out of home, out of the stretch. Outside. Romberger looking to get aboard here. 3-0 count, see if he has the green light. He does not, but doesn't need it. It's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk here for Sensenig. Now has 2 runners on, 1 away. That'll bring up Kleslich. It was walked twice. So Kieran will step in. 2 runners on. Sensenig looks at second, now to home. Catches the outside corner.
Good pitch.
Been there all game.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. This time just pounding the zone. Finds himself in an 0-2 count.
Put some pressure on the batter here, make him think he's got a swing.
Force at virtually all the bases except for home.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of options here on a ground ball. The 0-2. Beaten to third. With it, throw to first in time. All right, so not that many options.
You say that
But one option there at first. 5-3 on the putout. Everybody advances.
We had to say something.
You know, that was kind of a slow roller. Had it been hit a little bit sharper to third, maybe got a chance to turn 2 there. But
yeah,
on that one, you just take the sure out. And again, he was in on the grass. He wasn't getting back to third base to try to get the force. So really the only play there at first. And there's 2 away. Upstairs. Degler 1 for 2. Singled in the 4th. Grounded out. 3 unassisted his first time up. That one spanked into right center field. And Wyo has got it. That was Aaron Sauerzon. Nearly thought that he lost it there in the outfield, but he comes down with it for out number 3. F8 in your playbooks is how that one ends. But Antietam does get on the board. 1 run on, good Lord, guess I need to punch that in. There we go. So 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left stranded on base for the Mounts. When we come back, top of the 6th inning, as Wyo on top 8-1.
You're watching the Spartan Sports Network on Jerry Gelliff Media.
Back here, top 6. Not many changes here as this time the Spartans have Sensenig back up at the plate. That one hit towards short. Throw across the diamond in time. Heck of a stretch by Dickerson at first. That's why you stretch out before games.
Heck yeah, doing splits. Not
Yeah,
my
yeah,
thing.
he's going to feel that one. You can see. Thank God we don't have enough video cameras around here because he's a little ginger after that one.
He was a little ginger.
You can see him looking back at the dugout, just kind of like rubbing in the general vicinity of where he was stretching.
Gotta keep it warm.
And there's one away. Six-3 on the putout. There was one away. Westwood at the dish. Looking at the 0-1. Inside. Bailey up next.
Jeez.
Rick Ankiel back to the screen. I was looking for a reason to finally pull up this Wikipedia page that I had of Rick Ankiel. So what a perfect transition.
Oh, gosh.
I was right, by the way.
He was.
5 wild pitches in the 3rd inning of Game 1 of the 2000 postseason. He was one of 2 healthy starters. It was him and Daryl, the late, great Daryl Kyle. Kyle had passed away at the age of 33. Back around like 2002. And it'll be a walk here for Westwood, who's aboard. Yeah. Game 1, one of the few healthy pitchers that they had, ended up not allowing a run, and then all of a sudden 4 runs on 2 hits, 4 walks, and 5 wild pitches. Well, just recording 2 outs there. Cardinals won that game, by the way. He was the first pitcher to throw 5 wild pitches in an inning since Burt Cunningham of the Players League in 1890.
Holy.
However, Ankiel did set the record for wild pitches in a postseason career and postseason inning. That's really impressive to have a postseason career record in just 2/3 of an inning. And, ooh, he's going to be safe. Not sure where the tag was slapped on, but going to assume that it was late as Westwood is into second.
There we go.
Swing and a miss for Bailey. Bailey, 0 for 1. Still going to be 0 for 1 as he takes his base after getting plunked.
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to say, he's walked twice and struck out looking once. The second hit batter of the contest. That one launched to left. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's a foul ball.
You got a hold of that one.
Bean, he's been all or nothing here today, 0 for 3. 1 away. And 1 strike here. Caleb Bean. Curls that one in. It's 0-2. Yeah, Bean 0 for 3, 2 Ks, and a pop fly in foul territory to first That ended the third. The 0-2. Fouls it off. Up and over the cage. Here's an 0-2. That one bounces up there. The runners will take off and advance on the wild pitch. It's now Westwood on third, Bailey on second. Bean looking at a 1-2 with first base open. And one away. That one slashed out to center. Coming in, and it's going to find some eyes. Woo! Bean with a base hit. And an RBI. Nine to 1. Catcher will go out there and give a handful of signs. I'm assuming Antietam knows what they mean.
Hopefully.
Throw over, or at least faking the throw. That must have been some of the signs here. Probably got fake a throw, an actual throw, and then coming to plate. So that was very clearly waving off or canceling what they did before.
Giving away their tips.
Oh, come on. Never. That one ends up bouncing off of Bean and almost out of play. And instead on the E1, Bailey will come across to score. So now it's just Bean on first and a 10-1 advantage. That one lined out to center. Romberger barely needs to move. 2 away on the L8 as Letcher got a good rip on that one. Just didn't have eyes like the last one did from Bean. That thing just, I don't know how it avoided everyone, but it did. They're going to call that one a strike as Goodhead bent out of the way of that one, and it was still called a strike. That one to short. Play is to first in time. And that will do it. 6-3 on the putout. Retires Goodhead. But other than that, they do play 2 more. It is officially 10-1 in favor of the Spartans here after the top of the 6th inning. There won't be a 10-run rule as of yet, or at all, in this contest. But it'll be 2 runs on just 1 hit for the Spartans. One error, which scored a run, and 1 left stranded on first. After 5.5, Spartans up 10-1. Back here for the bottom half of the 6th inning. Wyo cruising to a 10-1 advantage. Sensenig back out for his 2nd inning of work. Bit of a bullpen game, if that's what you want to call it here for the Spartans. As it almost seems fairly planned out. In the grand scheme of things, stat-wise, theoretically, Westwood would not get the win because he didn't go enough innings. However, for planned bullpen games like this, where you have a plan of which players are playing where, that starting pitcher can pick up the W as a result. Fun fact.
There you go.
I'm just full of stupid stat knowledge.
The random knowledge for baseball come to Ryan Lionel Weaver.
Don't know everything, but I do know a lot. Sensenig feeling the breeze after that one was cut on and missed. Freeze down 0-1. Catches the outside. All day, every day. 0-2. See if he throws something off speed here. Much like Macrina was able to. 0-2. Sure did. That one caught maybe a little too much of the plate to be completely effective at 0-2. Count remains 2 strikes. Timeout taken here at the plate. Freese has struck out twice. Struck out looking in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 4th. Down and outside, ball 1. Maybe just setting up something off speed again. Let's see, shakes off twice, now looks in. Now may need to restart that process. As Freese asks for a pause. I'll look in. Must be the same pitch. The 1-2. Yeah, he was looking to catch the edge that time, just missed. 2-2. The 2-2. Got him. Sensenig records the strikeout looking, and there's one away. That'll bring up Perez. Perez has also been punched out twice via the struck out both of his ABs, once in the 2nd, once in the 4th. That one clocked him right off the dome schnizzle. Perez will be on first. Can I just say, you hear some of the wildest things down here in between both of these dugouts, just where we're located, and that's one of the funniest things I've heard in a while. come out of a dugout. Yes. Told him to take his helmet off with his teeth.
Right, that's one way to go about it.
All I can think of is the Eagles Super Bowl parade. People chucking like Bud Lights at Landon Dickerson, and that Alabama boy took a Bud Light or a Miller Lite or Coors or whatever it was. Might have been Natty Boh, who knows. Ended up taking it and literally ripped off the top of the can with his teeth and chugged out of it like it was just a regular can that didn't have a, like, somehow just ripped it right off with his teeth. That's all I can think of as Sensenig 1-0.
That's what happens when you're high on adrenaline.
I think that's part of what happens when you're just from Alabama. That's how you learn how to.
Too.
I think that's a rite of passage. 1-0. Outside, back to the cage. Perez taking off for 2nd. He'll get there standing up. What would I do if I wasn't just filled with random knowledge and stupid stories down here? I think yeah, dome schnizzle was always something that once upon a time I didn't always do this and didn't always do public address for Reading United, but Kevin DeVera, a former king of baseball town, Kevin DeVera, used to call it the dome schnizzle all the time, and yeah, no, you just pick certain things up as you go along here. 2-1, outside. Nice job by Goodhead, stretching all the way across his body to catch that one. 3-1 now, Dickerson. Dickerson 0 for 2, pop foul to third, and struck out looking back in the fourth. 3-1, hitters count. Sensenig slipping off the mound that time, but must have given him a little bit of extra oomph. Little
more
little angels in the outfield there, if you're familiar with the reference.
Oh, yeah.
The angel behind the starting pitcher and literally blows the guy's hat off, giving a little extra zip. That one lined foul.
Holy crap.
Hopefully nowhere near my car.
Well, hopefully.
Parked over in the lot.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't park in Timbuktu this time?
No, not in Timbuktu this time. Not past the tennis club. Counts full to Dickerson. Cut on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for Dickerson. For Sensenig, his second K, both coming in this inning, and that'll bring up, well, it was Stewart last time up, and this time around, back to Santiago. Santiago struck out in the second. Gets things started here with a big rip at strike one. Gonna say that one stayed upstairs. 1-1. I erased ball one from my score sheet. Now I have to fill it back in again. Accidentally put it in the wrong column. Oops. 1-1. Up at eye level. It's 2-1. Runner on second. 2-1. That one, it's going to be a foul ball. And that is only by virtue of that somehow pinging off of the bat. He didn't make an attempt at it, but it still hit the bat.
Jeez.
And therefore, foul ball. Strike two.
Holy crap.
One of the scariest strikes that you'll come across there.
Just lost control.
He's seen it before, though. You know, you can come across and swing it. If it hits you right in the hands and you're swinging at it, that's probably more painful. And that time, Santiago down on strikes again. 4 up, 3 down for Antietam as we cruise into the seventh. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left stranded on second. To the top of the seventh we go. Wyo on top, 10-1. Back here for the top of the 7th inning. We'd show you the, yeah, I'm not quite sure what Jerry's trying to look at. I can't tell if he's just peeping into people's yards.
He's trying.
Or if he's just seeing how far that camera will reach.
I mean.
And the answer is just to the right of Flannery Field over there.
Yeah. Beautiful field, by the way. I ran track on it in high
Flannery?
school.
Yeah.
Great field.
While looking to do some upgrades around this area. I believe they're trying to make the Flannery Field area all-purpose and all-season to a certain regard. Said you would have a 4-season concession stand in there. I think they were looking at replacing some of the fencing around the baseball field area here and potentially doing some other things. So we'll see how much of that comes to fruition. I believe that they are working on the West Trading Playground first as a bigger priority. And then kind of putting a pin in this one for now, to the best of my knowledge. That one beaten to short. Degler to Dickerson. There's one away. Rowanzon is retired on the first pitch. We'll say Degler over there at short has had a couple of really good throws across the diamond.
Yeah, he
as has Perez from third. In comes Cerulli. Cerulli, 2 singles and 2 plate appearances since stepping in the 4th, replacing Ziegler. A lot of good things out of the 2-hole here this afternoon for the Spartans. 3 runs, 4 base hits, 4 for 4 out of the 2-hole between Ziegler and Cerulli. 3 singles and a double. And 2 stolen bases from Cerulli. Ziegler didn't advance on a stolen base back in the 3rd, but advanced 2 bases based on a fielding error out in left field. That one they will say is up. It's 3-0. The 3-0. Up and in. 4-pitch walk for Cerulli, and he is aboard again. Chase Delp. He came in back in the 5th inning. Now his second at bat. Flew out to right. That play was a bit of an adventure out there for Santiago. Throw back to first. Yeah, in a 10-1 game, still throwing back to first.
Always. Got to check that batter.
Still a threat to run.
Got to check the runner.
Not a tremendously big lead as he steps back to first that time. That gives you any indication of how far he was leading off, that he could just walked back.
Just a little bit. A little bit.
Finally, a pitch to the plate outside. Delp hitting from the left-hand side here. That's a nice bit of perspective here. Dives down for ball 2. All of a sudden, Rumpleton having trouble finding the zone here. Try to go back to first on the snap throw, not in time. Rumpleton. 4 pitches, 4 balls to Delp, and after getting Rowanzon out on the first pitch here of the 7th, two straight 4-pitch walks, as Bob Bucher would say. Well, I guess if he has a 4-pitch walk here, Bob Bucher would say ball 4, ball 8, ball 12.
There you go.
Meeting of the minds out here on the mound. And they will make a swap here. Looks like Rumpleton will check out here. He will officially have 3 1/3 innings to his credit, as Perez will move over to pitch now from third base. That will move Grillo over to third and put Rumpleton back on second. This is why you get the big eraser.
I want the big eraser again. Does what it needs to, right?
You know what? Not the worst. Do like the mechanical pencil here.
Yeah.
The Uni Kurutoga.
Yuri Kutoga. Interesting.
Metal self-sharpens,
Self-sharpens.
supposedly. I like that the scouts, if you can see out into center field, Jerry would zoom out a little bit. They're all just having a little powwow there in center field. All 3 of the outfielders all sitting down. Not quite crisscross applesauce.
They're on a knee. It's like Mighty Mites or Midgets huddles after a game. Take a knee.
Perez. Might be his last pitch here.
Nope.
Hurts my shoulder just looking at him. It was his last pitch.
Okay.
No, wait.
I always remember.
Wait, one more.
See, I told you.
There you go.
I
All
told you.
right.
I knew it. I knew it.
Now I think. Nope. One more.
No, they're gone.
Nope. Still dorking around here.
We're good. We're good.
Rumpleton will scoot in, maybe trying to give Perez some pointers. Sure. As of right now, Rumpleton responsible for just 3 of the runs so far. That one bounces up there. Spartans will stay put. Ball 9 here. The 1-0. That one will catch. Ends that 9 straight balls.
Sure.
1-1.
You're the one keeping track.
Just doing math.
I'm sitting here looking at everything, so.
Just doing math. Foul tip. Two now. Sorry, that ended 10 straight balls. Actually missed one. Strike 3 looking. It's that outside edge again. It's been effective for both sides. Gets that one across. It's 0-1. Westwood, for all the good things he's done here this afternoon, getting on base has not necessarily been one of them. He's walked twice. Flown out, struck out, and that is up and over the head of the left fielder. It'll bounce all the way up and off the wall. 1 run will score. They will score a second. It will be a stand-up triple for Westwood. And this time, the announcer's curse working in our favor.
It did. It did. What is that, first time?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's, since I've been with you, I don't think I've seen it happen just yet.
Nope,
so.
usually it goes the opposite way.
Exactly, so good thing.
Usually I'm causing bad things to happen.
Usually you're causing chaos with your calls, so we'll take it going in our favor here.
Bailey is up. Bailey has reached base. He is technically 0 for 1. He's reached base 3 times, though, walked twice, and hit by a pitch.
Hey, he's making it on base. That's all that matters. Working to count.
That's what Billy Bean would say out in Oakland. Swing and a miss is that one. Fell off the table.
Yeah, it did.
0-2. Officially 12-1 now for the Spartans. That one back to Jerry. Two strikes now to Bailey. That one, I believe it's off the catcher. It is. That one hard to see. It didn't sound like it really caught much else, but it went off the glove, and that was the sound that you ended up hearing. 1-2. Behind on that one is Bailey, and he's down on strikes for out number 3. The Spartans do some work and get a few more runs on the board, courtesy of Cerulean Delp. So it's 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left stranded on third. To the bottom of the 7th we go, 12-1, Spartans.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/act now.
You're watching the Spartan Sports Network on Jerry Gelliff Media.
Back here for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Last attempts here for the Mounts to make a game of this one. End up sticking with Sensenig to close this one out. Sensenig has allowed 1 run, 1 hit, 2 hits in his 2 innings of work. One of these days I'll measure twice, cut once with my mouth and get it right the first time.
Maybe. Sooner or later, right?
Yeah, well.
You only hope.
2-0. That one slamming against the catcher's glove for strike 1. 2-1. Cut on and missed again. Evens the count. 2-2. Sensenig looks in for the sign. Time called here at the dish. For the Mountaineers, they continue on here as That one fouled back. They continue on and play Brandywine Heights at home on Wednesday afternoon, 4 p.m. First pitch that time around, and then the next game on their schedule will be Thursday at High Point Baptist Academy. Is that one upstairs? Full count. They have Lincoln Leadership Academy Lions on the 25th, Brandywine again on the 26th, Ole after that. So a really interesting schedule on their behalf. Is that one up around the letters for ball 4. One runner is aboard. Rumbleton on first. They'll bring up Robinson. Robinson has the lone RBI for the Mounts, singled it back in the 5th inning. Runner is going that one all the way back to the cage. Sensenig really lost the handle on that one. They're going to ride with him. For the Spartans, coming off of that 5-4 loss in 9 innings to Ole. That was after 2 straight wins as throw down to third. Drops in and out of the glove there. They will he should still be at third. Sure if you can hear the chatter. Sometimes I just let it go rather than talking over top of it. The finer points of whether or not a foul tip was caught or not would determine whether or not the runner could advance. If it was dropped, then no. If it was caught, then yes. Because otherwise, it's just a foul ball. Can't advance. Swing and a miss. That one up around the chin. Swung anyway. 2-2. That one. Strike 3. As down goes Robinson. Another strikeout here for Sensenig. That'll be his 3rd. Bring up Romberger. Romberger has been stranded twice on the base paths. Fouls off the first one. That one seems like it stung a little bit. And they're shaking out his hands afterwards. Yeah, if that was up and in, you fouled it off. And you're going to feel that one for a while.
Yeah, you will.
It's like getting stung by a pack of bees. That one back to the cage, and it's actually going to help because Goodhead able to grab it barehanded and keep the runner at third. So now we're reaching Rick Ankiel territory.
You're obsessed with that now.
I am now. Dog with a bone. It's just such a great reference.
Hey.
And now it's 25 years old.
That's true. You're
Just
right.
Insane.
Very insane.
To think about. And I was right in the thick of school and everything at that point in time. I was in middle school, but that one up, in, and off the hands again.
Staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do.
Staying
battling.
alive and stinging the heck out of his hands.
Yep. He's going to feel it tomorrow, but that's all right.
Sure will. I mean, he's choked up on the bat there, so he's
getting around.
He's trying. 2 strikes to Romberger. 1-2. Bounces up there, 2-2. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
Full count.
Sensenig just overthrowing there on the 2-strike pitch.
He's been losing his footing a little bit more.
Got a dry mound this time around. That one in at the zone. Up, over. Everyone turns their heads to stare directly into the sun.
I know, I had to cover it for a second. I was like, where's the ball?
Over there. The full count offering. Bounces off home plate. And there's another aboard. Rumbleton on third, Romberger on first. Feast or famine here for Sensenig on the mound. 2 walks and a strikeout this inning. Last inning, 3 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. Oh, and yeah, he's really just not getting good footing. Once again, going down there to the bottom of the mound, trying to...
Yeah, he's got some length, so, I mean, he's trying to get a little bit more of that angle to it.
The 1-0, inside.
There's a lot of momentum when he throws that leg, too.
I mean, if you feel like you're not going to get good footing at the end, it's going to affect your pitching.
Yeah.
Because if you're not stable landing,
Rolls over a little bit more. Kind of interesting.
that time a little bit more composed.
Yeah.
Trying to keep my eye on where he ends up landing. Runner goes. That is the definition of defensive indifference.
Mm-hmm. Just going to hold the ball.
Like zero interest, up 12-1 in mowing down somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Bounces up there. Once again, nice pick by Goodhead.
Bases loaded.
And bases are loaded. Degler at the dish. So Degler, the cleanup hitter, 1 for 3, entering the later stages here. Grounded out unassisted to first. Hit a single in the 4th. Advanced on a wild pitch and flew out to dead center in the 5th. That one inside. Runners will stay. A little chirping over at Keslich on first for taking a stupidly wide lead there. If that's affecting him at all. Spartans do have somebody up in the pen over here as that one's inside, ball 4. Degler will get credit for the RBI, and Rumpleton, who has been extraordinarily patient over there on third with 2 stolen bags after working a full count walk. And that will do it for Sensenig. Just not quite enough juice to get through the bottom half of the 7th here. And instead, as I pull up the roster here, it'll be Berkeley Ziegler back out onto the mound. So a little full circle here for us. He started the last YO baseball game that we covered.
Mm-hmm.
Now hopefully finishing this one out. So Sensenig will still get credit for 2 innings pitched. And I think the 2 1/3 innings pitched. So he did get the strikeout. Force it any bag. So a good chance here for the Spartans with one batter to finish this one off. 12-2 now. Sensenig responsible for all of the runners on base. Has been responsible for all of the runs for the Mounts as well. These would all be earned if they come across to score. So Sensenig will give way to Ziegler here for the final 2/3. Ziegler, the steady senior. Ziegler so far 7 innings, 12 hits, 8 runs, just 2 of them earned. First pitch swinging this time is Freeze, and it's 0-1. Ziegler pitched to a 2.56 ERA last year. Also picked up a save. Strike 2. This is not a save situation, up by 10. Could become one eventually. That one bounces up there. Runners will stay as not an awful lot of space back here between home plate and the backstop. That is to every, to be quite honest. Those pitches that scoop past the catcher. Don't have to go very far to retrieve them. Is that one strike 3 called? Freese, the golden sombrero here this afternoon, as that is strikeout number 4. So now 2 away. That'll bring up Perez. Perez has struck out twice and reached on a hit by pitch. Took it off the helmet last time. Looks at one down low, ball 1. A lot of play coming into home plate here. It's 1-1. Swung on, fouled back. Now just 1 strike away, just like that. The polishing off a 10-run victory here. First have to get through a 1-2 count and bases loaded. The 1-2. Gonna say that one stayed upstairs. It's 2-2. He thought he had it. Two. That one bending out of the way was Perez. Perez, his best AB. What'll end with a strike 3 swinging. That'll do it. 12-2, your final score here is Wyo winning this one by 10. Much like taking all 7 innings, though. Not a 10-run rule in the traditional sense, but 10 runs just because. So we will recap this one when we come back. But 12-2, your final score. I'll try to get all these stats because we do them all manually here, so I need to put my pen on paper and get it all figured out. And while you do so, love some of the tunes that Jerry puts up here. So we'll be right back. 12-2, your final score here is the Spartans advance to 7-3 overall. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we return here on the Spartan Sports Network.
The new Birdie's Inn is Exeter's family spot with great food and beverages and activities for all ages. There's a full selection of beverages to go with your meal or while you watch a game on one of the 35 TVs. For the kids, there's a family game area, as well as darts and a pool table. You can eat in the indoor dining room or out on the spacious heated deck. The new Birdie's Inn at 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter. Proud sponsors of Berks County High School athletics.
At Birdie's Inn we meet again.
Mortgage America is Berks County's premier local mortgage lender. Why choose Mortgage America? They're a fully licensed regional mortgage banker, not just a broker. They service their own loans and offer a full menu of mortgage programs. Their turnaround times and service are unmatched in the industry, big enough to provide the best rates, yet small enough to provide personal service. Local loans for local homes. Contact Chris 9 at Mortgage America today at 610-376-1755.
Back here to polish off this game here. Wyo taking it 12-2. They got things started pretty early with 2 runs in the top of the first. Again, playing the visiting team here at home just based upon some circumstances. But 2 runs in the top of the first, 2 runs in the third, 4 in the fourth, none in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. To get to your final 12 runs. Really, a lot of the hard work came out of the 2-hole, 3-hole, and honestly, pretty much up and down the lineup. Let's be fair. This was a heck of a performance here by Wyo this afternoon. Taking a look at just that 2-hole again. Berkeley Ziegler with a 2-bagger. To get things started in the first inning. Also had a single and scored a run, singled and scored a run in the fourth as well. So he ended up coming into the plate 3 times. If it would have been a save situation, he would have gotten the save, but Berkeley Ziegler, a heck of a job by him this afternoon. Again, 3 runs for him as he was just able to 2 runs for him. Yeah, I was right the first time around. Cerulli with 2 runs as well out of that 2-hole. So just a really special opportunity up top, and that just really got the Spartans started off on the right foot and never really looked back. It wasn't a stupid dominant performance out of the Spartans by virtue of them putting in some of their younger kids. So they kept things within reason. They didn't really play an awful lot of starters. Rounds-On wasn't playing again today, but they were able to at least, get some early runs up on the board, kind of shell shock Antietam a little bit. By the time that it was 8-0 in the fourth inning, it was pretty much all she wrote. But it was kind of slow and steady getting to that 12 runs. It wasn't like Hamburg the other day with 14-run explosion in the second inning. This was a slow, monotonous, kind of tedious path to a 12-2 victory, if that makes sense.
You could go with tedious, or you could say workmanlike.
Workmanlike is probably the best way of putting that. Because, again, 2 runs, no runs, 2 runs, 4 runs, no runs, 2 runs, 2 runs. So 7 innings, you score in 5 of them. Don't score more than 4 runs in 1 inning. You score mostly 2 runs. You know what? Got the job done.
I'm not going to complain about that effort.
I certainly would hope not, but 7-3, your final score. Westwood did a pretty decent job on the mound. I do have him picking up the win, only by virtue of him starting off this game and it being kind of a bullpen game. So he would pick up the win. Grillo picks up the loss. He is responsible for 7 runs over 3 innings, 5 walks, 3 Ks. So not a great outing for Antietam. It's kind of the way that their season has unfortunately gone and may continue to go. They do have some winnable games coming up here on the schedule against some smaller teams that are non-league contests, so an opportunity for them to get on the board. You did see some good things out of them. I think that certainly their coaching staff is over there. You can hear them a little bit just trying to pull teeth and get the best play out of those players humanly possible. So good luck to them the rest of the season. But as for the Spartans, 7-3, and we keep on rolling along here, entering the latter part of the season schedule. So taking a peek, the rescheduled game from this past Saturday will be tomorrow, apparently. Apparently.
Wario players are destructive.
All good. Nearly lost my work laptop. All good. Now they play Weiser tomorrow, Schuylkill Valley. And again, that's kind of the reason that you have this Antietam game. You're able to play some of the younger guys. You're able to basically throw a bullpen game out there and, pick up a win. Likely have another one here on the docket coming up at Kutztown with a little bit of rest. But 3 games right in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For some of the players, hey, I'm not 18 anymore. I'm not 16 anymore. Like some of these guys don't have nearly the energy to burn. I can't even envision it these days, 20 years later. But, I'm just 20 years later. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, I hear that. But I thought it was a great effort all around. And, I think that there's an issue over at Antietam because this game, you probably mentioned it. I didn't hear it. But this game is supposed to be played at Antietam. And their field is apparently in just terrible shape. So I don't even know if they've gotten a home game yet. Yeah. That weighs on
very,
you,
very much like Muhlenberg and football. It was, 10
say
straight away games to, it stinks.
Yeah.
But for Wyo, you get 3 straight games, 3 straight days. You got to find out where you can rest some guys, where you can, move around your pitching staff a little bit to help. And that was exactly what they did today. They threw guys out there that normally don't throw. Picked up a win anyway. Picked up a 10-run win. It's sometimes what you have to do in the midst of a season. You got 2 more games coming up against better opponents in Weiser and Schuylkill Valley, and you throw your better arms, better players at those.
And to my eyes, from what I can see, Coach Nick is doing a pretty good job of rotating folks in and out, moving them around, and keeping players fresh.
Oh, yeah. My scorebook is an absolute atrocious mess right now. And a lot of that is just tracking runners around the base paths. Like, okay, that was a wild pitch, that was a balk, that was an E2.
Right.
So I'm not even counting up all the errors and everything else because there was a bunch. A lot of those runs are going to end up unearned from the pitching staff point of view for Antietam. So they obviously have a lot to work on. It's been a really tough season for them and will continue to be a tough season, but it does look like there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here for them with their scheduling. But as for Wyo, it's this game 1 out of 3 straight. Do get a little bit of a break, then they go underneath the lights at Kutztown, which will be cool for them. That'll be on the 21st. And again, they're just racking up all these games because they're going to have something similar here coming up in a week or so, where they have Kutztown on Monday, they have Twin Valley on Tuesday, they have a doubleheader against Tulpehocken on Wednesday.
Wow, man.
And then they're at Brandywine Heights on Thursday. So they have 5 games in 4 days next week.
I know that the weather has really wreaked havoc with our schedule.
Sure has.
We had 5 games scheduled last week. We got 1 of them in. And the games did get played. It's just that
it was that Tuesday game.
Right. 2 of them were at Muhlenberg, and they've got the lights, so they were supposed to be at 7. But storms were coming at 7, so they moved it up. And, you know, like we're all working people. We can't switch up like that.
I mean, generally not.
Yeah, generally not. But,
Generally.
But we, it's wreaking havoc with everybody's schedule, and you have to hope. And more than likely, it will never happen. You have to hope that none of the kids get hurt.
Sorry, I'm just reading your text now. A pack of bees. Sorry, a swarm of bees, if that.
I would have even accepted hive.
A hive of bees. Yeah, pack of bees. When I talk about nobody reaching out to me during the broadcast, I have Jerry texting me. So there's at least one person who's actually listening to me, which is nice.
And I'm just trying to annoy.
For the most part. Taking a peek at the upcoming schedule here as I pull up our schedule. So obviously we had today, but you do have Muhlenberg taking on Governor Mifflin on Wednesday.
Yes.
Darren will have that call, baseball action. We also have Exeter against Penn Manor on Thursday, which is currently marked as RL or JG. So in order to spare you, I may just call that game.
Do what you must.
But that'll round out the schedule for this week. And next week, provided that everything works out for us, you got a whole bunch of Exeter games that just work their way into the schedule. You got Exeter and Exeter and West York on Tuesday, Exeter and Governor Mifflin on Wednesday, Muhlenberg against Tulpehocken softball on Thursday. Friday, you have Exeter versus Cocalico in baseball. And then we finish off with Exeter and Reading, Muhlenberg, Exeter Fleetwood, and Wyo softball on May the 5th.
That's just the way the schedule fell.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah. I think that Exeter Mifflin game is going to be primo.
That's a good one. Exeter's always got the pitching. Mifflin's always got just a really well-rounded team across the board.
What are they currently, Ryan?
I closed my laptop after it was almost.
I was going for the state champions.
Oh, well, going for the state champions.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So
Good
a lot of really good broadcasts coming up here on the Jerry Gelliff stable of networks. So 12-2, your final score here. Great job by Wyo. We won't call them for a little bit, but tons of Muhlenberg, Exeter action coming up here in the very near future. So if you're at all interested in some Berks County baseball and softball, make sure that you stay tuned here, not necessarily to this channel in particular, but the Mule Sports Network and the Exeter Sports Network as well. We'll certainly have you covered here for Berks County baseball and softball action. Missing anything?
I think you covered it all.
I think I covered just about everything. So, thank you, everyone, for listening in. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Chris for producing and Jerry for, as usual, pulling this all together. But thank you for tuning in. We'll have more coming up this week. Stay tuned to the Jerry Gelliff Media Facebook page and Twitter account, or X account, sorry. Got to get it right, just in case.
And or Instagram if you're in there.
And or Instagram. You got the IG. You have a Threads account?
No. No, I've never never delved into it.
Yeah, there's no reason to, really.
Yeah, I didn't think there was.
You're good.
I didn't think
You're
there
good.
was.
Blue Sky account? You got a Blue Sky, too, while you're at it?
No.
All right.
No, don't have that either.
Not missing anything over there either, so.
Yeah.
If you're looking for when we will be on the air and you don't want to listen to me again, go to Facebook, go to Twitter, go to Instagram. Jerry will have you covered. So thank you to everyone again for listening in. 12-2, your final score here in Wyo. We'll have more baseball and softball action coming up this week. But for now, everyone, thank you for tuning in again. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining us for exciting Wyomissing Spartans baseball on the Spartan Sports Network. The game has been brought to you by the new Birdies Inn 160 Old Friedensburg Road in Exeter, and Mortgage America, the mortgage company of record in Berks County. Be sure to join us all season long on the Spartan Sports Network for Wyomissing baseball and softball. This has been a presentation of Jerry Gelliff Media. Good night.